Hello, everyone. You're playing Farming Simulator 22 on Genesee, New York, our Rags to Riches series. Also kind of a contracting series here as well. And speaking of contracts, I finished up the contracts here in between episodes that we were working on here last episode. We're now into the month of May here, everyone. And I was just checking out the contract list here before I started recording. There's just not a whole lot going on here, everyone. It's looking pretty empty over here. I took 2 contracts here already. Just wanted to make sure they didn't disappear. I don't know why, but you like start the game, and then like I start recording, and then I go check the list again, and like half the contracts that were there disappear. I'm not sure what's up with that, but anyway. So I made sure I took those right away. So we got field 24 fertilizing and field 4 weeding. I think those are kind of almost exactly the same as what we were doing here last episode, right? A weeding contract and a fertilizing contract. So speaking of the weeding contract, let's get the Fent here headed out that way. Yeah, I was hoping that when there'd be a lot more planting, be a lot more planting contracts to go. I mean, we're month of April, May. I'm not sure what's all the planting months here on this map. I mean, yeah, well, actually, we're pretty much kind of getting April should have been the month for planting that one. I don't think we did any planting at all, did we? Maybe we did some. I know we did some in March. Did some cotton, and then we also did some corn. That must have been in April. I guess we did corn, but yeah, not a whole lot of planting contracts. I was kind of hoping to see some more planting contracts of them, but oh well. Yeah, they probably heard we have the wrong color green and didn't want us. That's probably what the problem was, Evan. That's probably the problem. Anyway, where are we going with this one here? I should go check our contract. Weeding. Field 4. Oh, that's like right around the corner, isn't it? Field 4 is... Oh, no, that's... Yeah, never mind. That's the one way down at the other end. Okay. Field 4. You go down there. Actually, you know, I could... well, what do we want to do? The fertilizing one, or do we want to do the weeding one? Thinking maybe the fertilizing one. We'll see what's here. Speaking of fertilizing, I should probably top this off a little bit more here. I did actually have enough fertilizer to finish up the field we're working on here last episode. I was kind of surprised by that. I didn't... Oh, oops. I wasn't sure if we would or not, but we did. What I should do is fill up that worthless to us seed tender there instead of a seed and put fertilizer in it. Maybe it'll work better for that. I don't know. Sore subject, that one. If for those of you who watched a couple episodes back with that one, yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and top this thing off. Fill it right up. Not the largest of fertilizer spreaders here by any means, but it gets the job done. And like I said, I think it'll be a nice in-between spreader until we can afford to purchase a nice self-propelled one. That's kind of my goal here. Get a nice self-propelled one here in the future. So far, I haven't been making a whole lot of money here on our contracts as of late. Again, there just has not been that many contracts. And not to say the contracts we have aren't bad paying. I mean, we're getting what, like 40, or there they are, like 40,000. Yeah, 44,000 for this one here. And we're not having to borrow any equipment for this one. So, like when it says 44,000, that should be what we're getting. We're getting 44,000, with the exception of our input costs, of course, because obviously, as you just seen, we bought a bunch of fertilizer here. Now, I don't think we'll need all this fertilizer for this field. At least I hope not, anyway, because my goodness, it's going to get a little expensive. But dry fertilizer usually goes quite a ways. I think that's going to hold all of it, too. My goodness, I was not expecting that. Watching me a little bit till that last bag left there yet. Yep. Well, I figured I'm going to be a little bit of the last bag left. Oh, well. Well, let's head out to our field here with this spreader. Check what field. I think it was 44, right? No, field 24. 24. Okay, and I do have a auto drive location to that one. Excellent. I'm not even sure where 24 is off the top of my head. Apparently, I've been there before. Oh, little diagonal field there. Okay. And how close are we with our other track here? Field 4. What the heck? Thinks I should be investigating my auto drive routes a little more closely because I don't know why he's going that way. Let me actually back to this one here a minute. Wonder if I got something broken or wrong here somewhere. Yeah, looks like he should be able to go down that way. Now, yeah, if he's going that way, he must have gone this way for some reason. I don't know why, but I presume he's going to go all the way up and then back down, maybe? I don't know. I better keep an eye on the 7. And I tell you, folks, I'm going to wait for my drivers to all get where they need to go, and we'll pick up recording here again in a few minutes once we've arrived at our destination. Well, after taking the long way, both tractors have finally made it to their destinations. Again, I don't know why this tractor went this way. I have no idea. I looked at the corners as the tractor went through them. Everything looked like it was properly connected to me, but apparently maybe just auto drive thought this was the better way or something. I don't know. But anyway, we are finally at our location. I think we're going to throw a course play on this one, everyone. And let's get rid of that course. Let's load up this course because, again, we own this one, so it's going to keep the courses we have loaded on it. 3 headlands? Sure. Works for me. Usually once you get the settings set up, a lot of times I don't even bother changing. We just leave them where they're at and hit the old generate button there, first waypoint, drive the course. And again, I could have had auto drive actually start this back at the shop if I wanted to. Probably should have, but oh well. And then let's go grab the fertilizing tractor here ourselves. Let's see, we got to go back to that map there. Then we can actually into the piece of equipment here. And we're going to start fertilizing field 24 here. We'll get a GPS line set up on this. Again, for those who maybe have not seen this map before here, the entire map, everyone, is turned ever so slightly. Only like a degree or 2 or 3 off of straight. A little bit annoying, especially when it comes to trying to create GPS lines and stuff like that, right? Let's get this set up here a minute. We're going to want... I think, what did I do? 358. Let's try 357 and a half. See how that looks. I need, what do you mean? Unfold it? Okay, I guess you gotta open the gate. And, yeah, open the gate all the way, apparently. We don't need putting that much fertilizer on now. We're gonna put on the minimum amount required here, right? Or we're a contracting service after all. Which, by the way, does mean we need to do a halfway decent job, right? Because in real life, if you don't properly fertilize and the farmer finds out, hey, maybe something went wrong accidentally, who knows, whatever. Not necessarily on purpose, but maybe the fertilizer spreader stopped working halfway through the field or something, you didn't notice it, or... You would think most contracting companies or people that are spreading fertilizer would probably realize this, because... Typically, when you go to spread fertilizer on a field, you know roughly how much fertilizer is in the spreader, and you should know how much is left over when you're done, right? Hopefully none, because you're probably putting in about what the field needs, right? Or if you need multiple loads, you should know how much is going on that field. So if there is something wrong with the spreader, you should know, at least by the time you get to the end of the field. Of course, by the time you get to the end, it might be a little too late, but oh well. Looks like this line is lining up pretty good here so far. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. We're getting a little further off here, aren't we? Oh, well. Maybe I should have gone with, 358. That's kind of the other problem here, too. But, not all the fields are, the same angle, it seems like. Some fields seem like they're more than others. I don't know what's up with that, but... this one here, clearly... get back to the right field. Through 20... Or field 24 is... obviously not quite 357 and a half. I forget what field that was we had that on. I should maybe actually just like I said before, start recording these by field number here just so I know, or put a field number behind them. Oh well, close enough. And like I was saying earlier, I'm a little disappointed in our selection of contracts here at this point. I don't know what's up with that. There's a lot of the fields have been planted here, and obviously not by us. So apparently the game is just planting them. I don't know if it just automatically offers them up as contracts and we missed them, or if it just did not make contracts. I don't know how that works when it comes to the contracting. I was kind of under the impression, if field work needs to be done, it puts it under a contract. And then, of course, if you don't do the contract, then the game just automatically does it, right? But we've been doing every single day in the game here. And yeah, there hasn't been that much for contracts. Now I can try refreshing here. Oh, there we go. Field. There's another fertilizer one. Kind of staying away from the lower dollar one there. Obviously, I'm trying to kind of hopefully get up to the, like $10,000+ ones. The 4,000 just not worth the time, especially Field 61. That's probably up near the top of the map there somewhere. To drive all the way out there for that little bit, yeah. I'd rather see a little bit higher dollar contract myself. Oh, speaking of contracts, how are we looking here? Field 4. 5% so far. Whoa. I think we'll actually be finished with this one here before we're done with the weeding contract. And this was actually the more expensive contract. Although, I say more expensive, and the big reason for that is probably the cost of the fertilizer that's going into this field here. I don't know if we really have a way to necessarily measure that cost per se. I guess if you know exactly how much you put in, which I guess we probably can roughly figure that out because we got 9,000 liters in here when we started. Figure out how much is left when we're done, and then multiply that by whatever the cost of the fertilizer is in here. Or $1,820, I believe we're paying at the moment for the bags. Again, I did put up the silos. But the silo system we have is, wow, bloody expensive compared to just buying the bags, which I always knew of when it was a little bit more expensive. I never realized how much more expensive. We're talking like several factors of time more expensive, not just like, an extra 10% or 30% convenience fee. No, we're talking like 2, 3, 4, 5 times convenience fee, which... that's just a little bit ridiculous. I don't know about you folks. That's just stupid. But that seems right up in line with Giants logic, if you know what I mean, Evan. Giants logic is, yeah, as we've discussed many times before on the channel, quite interesting, shall we say. And just a reminder too, by the way, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button. Always very much appreciated. And of course, once you are subscribed, make sure you turn on your notifications. That way you get notified when the latest, greatest RDAllen video goes live. And of course, I always forget to mention this. Don't forget to like the video as well. That also always very much appreciated. And as a reminder, if you'd like to join us in on some Farming Simulator multiplayer, we do have a multiplayer server as well. That information is all down below in the description there. Again, we ask that if you want to join us on there, please join us in on the RDAllen Teamspeak server. Again, the RDAllen Teamspeak server information down below. Also down below, rest of my social media information as well. For those of you curious about that. Bit of a boring contract here, if you ask me, Evan. Don't really see a whole lot going on, right? We're just going up and down the field. The fertilizer's getting spread. You really don't see any change on the ground, especially with the crop starting to come up here. I'm not sure what crop this is per se. Kind of hard to tell when you're moving. Possibly like oats or wheats, maybe? Oh, wait a minute. This actually looks like alfalfa. No, I nailed it, Evan. Nailed it. What did it say it was? Alfalfa. Wow. Okay. I didn't realize there was alfalfa on this map here, but apparently there is, Evan. Nailed it. Oh, what are we up to? 24%. Quarter of the way done with the field. How's the weeding contract looking here as well? Yeah, looks like he's still going around the field. That one will probably take a little bit longer, everyone. I'm hoping by the time we get done with this contract, that'll probably be after the episode is done, everyone. But maybe we'll get some more contracts to show up here. We just hit the refresh. Hey, there we go. There's another one. Field 41, fertilizing. Well, yeah, we'll accept it. Why not? Kind of nice now, Evan, too, that we have our own equipment now. I can just accept the contract. I don't have to sit here borrowing the items. Or, as I've done in the past, I would accidentally take the contract and forget to borrow the items. That always sucks, because Yeah, you forget to borrow the items, Evan. Now you can't do the contract. Now you got to cancel the contract, and once you cancel the contract, it kind of goes away. I don't know if it ever comes. Maybe it does come back eventually, Evan, but in my experience, I think usually once you cancel it, it's kind of gone. So, you got that real nice $100,000 contract, a cultivating one or whatever, and you're like, oh, yes, perfect. Take the contract. Oh, crap, I forgot I need to borrow the items for it. Now you got to cancel it because you can't complete it. And yeah, that's a bit of a painful one there, everyone. Oh, well, done it before. Surprisingly, I don't think I've done it this series here, though. I've been pretty good about, if I need to borrow the items, I've been borrowing the items for it, so good. And again, as I said before, I think we're making some pretty good progress here in our Rags to Riches series. We own 2 tractors now so far. We got the orange Kubota here, the M8201, and then we got that funky-looking green thing. I guess they call that a tractor. Probably why we're not getting any contracts from the farmers when they see us driving by, like, ugh, nasty, right? Now, we got that Fendt 1042 of one. And we also have a 24-row John Deere corn planter. We got this Mobility 1000 fertilizer spreader. We got the row style, the hoe style. That's what it should be. The hoe style weeder. Is that it? Oh, and of course, we got a truck and a seed tender as well, which, yeah, as I said, that seed tender seems to be rather useless to us here at this point because I cannot get said seed tender to fill said planter. For those you've seen a couple episodes back, rather frustrating. Don't know why. Anyway, we'll head over to the comments here a moment, and there's probably not going to be a whole lot of comments here from last episode yet because I'm recording this a lot earlier than I normally do. Dude Perfect was saying... Dude Perfect? What? Okay. I was saying, do you still have your Farming Simulator 15 mods folder? I did a double take when I read that name. Obviously, it's not the real one. Actually, I think I do actually still have my Farming Simulator 15 mod folder. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't have necessarily the mod folder, but I think I have the mods that I put into said mod folder. I believe I do actually have that, the downloads from all that kind of sort of backed up here yet. That, I believe, is the last one I actually kept too, because kind of after Farming Simulator 15 I kind of stopped saving all my mods. I mean, for the most part, you can usually download the mods online yet, generally speaking, so it's somewhat true for Farming Simulator 15 as well, for that matter. I've got my Farming Simulator 2009 mods. I've got some Farming Simulator 11 mods, Farming Simulator 13, Farming Simulator 15, and like I said, I think 17 is when I kind of stopped. Back in the day, what I used to do is I'd download them, keep them in my download folder, copy them over to the Farming Simulator folder. Now I just like drag and drop them or download it straight to it, and I don't have the multiple copies. So once I get rid of the Farming Simulator game, there goes the mods as well for the game. Which, for those who wondering, I do get asked that every now and then. Do I have any of the previous versions of the game? At this point, I don't think I do. I'm going to double check that, but I'm pretty sure I don't. I just recently redid my computer here. I think that was it's about a year ago, I think I did that. I was having some issues with the computer, so I ended up doing a fresh install of Windows. And, of course, at that time, I didn't bother reinstalling, like, Farming Simulator 19. So I don't think I have Farming Simulator 19 installed anymore. Also, obviously, don't have 17 or 15, 13. I don't have any of those installed either, so... I know there's some people that like to, go back and play some of the previous versions. Can't say I'm one of those people. I mean, generally speaking, once the new one comes out, I just don't see a reason to go back and play the older version of it. There's... The new version pretty much is better, generally speaking, in every way than the old version, right? So, why would I want to go back and play the old version? I guess maybe some nostalgia reasons every so often, but other than that, we did go back and play Farming Simulator 15 here, obviously. That was a couple years ago. It was kind of fun just to check it out, to remember how good Courseplay was back then compared to... Well, I can't complain about Courseplay here in 22. Courseplay's been pretty good here in 22, but for those who remember 19 was a little rough with Courseplay. Oh my goodness. Courseplay back in Farming Simulator 19, that took a serious stupid pill and must have overdosed on it completely, because wow. But no, Courseplay in 22 has been really good so far. Can't complain. With that being said, too, maybe I should say that we haven't done a whole lot of like what I would consider to be the more of the smarter AI features with it. Like we're not doing a whole lot of combine unloading. We've done a little bit, but we're not doing a whole lot of that stuff. So that probably helps there too, maybe. But that being said, on the little bit of combine unloading we have done with Courseplay has gone quite smoothly. So yeah, for those who remember, I kind of disowned Courseplay back in Farming Simulator 19. I just had enough of the nonsense, shall we say, that I was doing. Like, that's enough. This is, nope, not worth it. Not worth it. That was about the time when I began exploring alternative methods, shall we say, i.e. auto drive. And I got to say, of course, I'm an auto drive, at least when it comes to the road network part, really does a nice job of that part. Game Farmer was saying you should get a 7930 with a field cultivator and a 16-row, I'm not sure 16-row what, 16-row planter maybe? 16-row, I don't know, 16-row something. But yeah, 7930 with a field cultivator. That's not a bad idea. We'll have to see once. Maybe next time we get some cultivating contracts that pop up, everyone, and we got some money to spend. That might be a pretty good route to go. I was looking at the 30 series there, like the 7930. I was seriously tempted by it. Probably would have got it to pull the spreader if we had enough money to afford it back then, but I don't think we quite had enough money to buy that tractor, so... let's see. Ethan was saying, yes, I agree. European farms seem to farm with the old methods and spend way too much time in the field with small equipment. Bigger equipment is available too if you look hard enough. There's all kinds of videos of bigger equipment being used in Europe for specialty farming. Yeah, we keep discussing that on the channel. I mean, obviously, looking at some of the European farming methods. The game here obviously is very heavily European, so... yeah, but yeah, I don't know, just something about the European farming. Every time I look at it, I scratch my head, and again, I'm not trying to badmouth the European farmers here of them, but I just look at it, scratch my head, and like, what in the heck? Got to go back 75 years here or something, because like, we've done away with this here like 75 years ago, I think about. You're still using methods like this yet? Obviously, in America here, very heavily rely on GPS. Maybe a little too much sometimes, you got to wonder, but there obviously are some benefits to the GPS. I've won some really big benefits, I guess you could say, especially when it comes to applying fertilizer and planting and the whole variable rate part that goes into that. Exactly like you see in the game here when it comes to the precision farming mod. You can variable rate apply your seed, variable rate apply your fertilizer based on where it's needed, how it's needed. Same thing with the seed. I don't know how common the seed thing is necessarily yet. Obviously, it's probably somewhat capable depending on what you have for GPS on, but like I said, not sure how many farmers actually use that part of it yet. Be curious to see. So, again, the idea behind that, maybe you have a part of your field that grows a whole lot better than another part. Put a little more seed there, right? Versus the other part of the field where if you put more seed, you're just going to probably actually have a even lesser return than you normally would. So again, variable rate applying seed can really help boost your numbers, I guess you could say. How many bushels per acre you're getting. And then, of course, I'm going to get into the whole size of the equipment. Europeans seem to have a strange fascination with 3-meter wide equipment. Again, you'll be laughed out of the farming world here if you show up with any 3-meter equipment around here. Hobby farmers barely even use equipment that size anymore, so... And as I said before, my grandpa used to farm with... it was probably somewhere around the 3-meter size equipment, but that was back in like the 1960s, 50s. I mean, like I said, 50, 70 years ago, right? And even some of his equipment back then, I do believe, was actually larger than 3 meters. Now, I know in the case of my grandpa, I mean, he had a 4-row corn planter, but that was a wide row, and I forget the width on those rows again. If that was, I'd like to say it was wider than 36. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was wider than 36. I'd like to say it was like 40 or 42 or something like that. You know, back in the days, a lot of times you picked the corn rather than shelled the corn with, say, a combine, right? I was asking you play on Oklahoma and Farming Simulator 15 and Nowhere, Kansas and Farming Simulator 19. Yes, we did. Not sure what the point of that is, but okay, yep. And Oklahoma, that was the map I was talking about here a few moments ago, where we did actually go back here a couple years ago and play on that again. And then we did Nowhere, Kansas back in Farming Simulator 19. That was a big 16X map, for those who remember that series. If you haven't seen it, you should go back and check it out on Nowhere, Kansas. That was kind of a fun series there. I think we set the record for the number of combines. I think it was a 200... I'd like to say it was 200 plus combines we ran there. But if I remember correctly, don't quote me on that one, but I think that's what we had. We had a ludicrous number of combines we ran on that field there. And that was only once, by the way. The rest of the series was a little bit more tame than that. You know, we were definitely running, 4, 8, 10 combines on most of the fields here. Again, for those of you who've never played on a 16X map before, and 16X maps are huge. Huge. Really, and I have to say, I'd still say highly impractical. Unless you're playing on, well, actually, let's see if we can not even go there, because if you're playing on a 16X map on a multiplayer server, the chances are the server's probably not even going to be able to handle it. So it's kind of a moot point at that point. And if you're just playing by yourself, a 16X map is pretty much kind of almost too big to even play on. And as I said before, I've got a fairly decent computer here. And even on my computer, playing on a 16X map, it is definitely a struggle getting a good, solid frame rate. Now, mind you, a farming simulator, if you're not getting 60 frames, you're probably not going to notice it like you would maybe a first-person shooter. It's not that big of a deal, but still. You're playing farming simulator on a 16X map at 20 frames, you're probably going to notice it. And yeah, really the only spot you can maybe potentially use a 16X map on is on a multiplayer server. If you get potentially up to 16 players on a multiplayer server, there you go, right? The only problem, like I said a moment ago, most servers are not going to be able to probably handle that 16X map, not to mention all your players are going to have decent computers. It just, yeah. I remember having this argument back in Farming Simulator, I think it was 19, everyone. We had the argument, for those of you who remember I think it was a 64X map that was coming out, right? I know we had a bit of an argument about it back then. I'm like, 64X map is just pointless. It's never going to run. The 16X maps barely run. Why would a 64X map? And I think I'm going to have to stand behind that one, because have you folks seen that 64X map ever released to the public? I don't believe it has been, right? I'm going to guess just probably a few too many playability issues on it. Now, mind you, when you just an empty map, it'll probably work. You start putting some equipment on that map, though, that's when you start seeing the problems. And then you start adding a little bit more equipment. And then you start seeing more problems. Anyway, yep. So let's go check and see how we doing here. 23%. Yeah, wow, it's taking him a while. 73% on the fertilizer. It is almost time to wrap it up here for this episode, though, so we're probably not going to quite finish this here. But between episodes, I'll try to get this finished, and we'll come back next episode. Hopefully, we'll have some better contracts to pick from Evan. Again, I don't know what's up with the contract. It's just, there's not a whole lot to go around, Evan. We're getting some weeding contracts and some fertilizing contracts. That's about it. Like I said, I was hoping for some more planting and plowing and cultivating ones. But and by the way, I do have plowing turned on, for those who wonder. Plowing is turned on. At least it should be anyway. Let me go double check this. I'll make sure it's all turned on here. It should have been. That's all turned off. Good. Where is my field stuff here? Crop destruction is on. Okay, periodic plowing on. Field stones on, weeds on. Yeah, I guess I got the field stones on. I probably should turn that off. I usually play with those off. Probably so we're not getting any destruction here. I guess I don't know if with contracts maybe you don't, or these wheels are considered narrow enough. Not sure. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up. How many folks have any comments or questions? Be sure to leave them down below. And as always, Evan, thanks for watching. Until next time.